Shalom, more praise Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, the Master Apostle GMS. My name is I'm Nawala, coming at you with the last installment of this series, just going into different meanings and etiquette in Brazil. It says, this is from Quora.com. It says, what are some distinctive aspects of Brazilian etiquette? This is from a guy who says he's been in Brazil for 42 years. I'm just going to jump around. It says, uh, if someone offers you to eat what he or she is eating, it is just for the sake of politeness. To share a meal with someone you are not sleeping with is considered unhygienic. See that? It says, if you come to visit a house and there's no doorbell, clap your hands. In small towns, you could also shout "O de casa," "Hey, you at home?" It is expected to be the first to rise up from the dinner table. I'm sorry, the host is expected to be the first to rise up from the dinner table, but he will only do it after enough people have finished their meals. Now let's go right here. This is Genesis chapter 18. Okay. All right, let me go over here. People want to make noise. It says these are when the angels came to Abraham. And you see here it says when you go to verse 7, and it was making food for the angels. It says to my Abraham, it says, and he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree as they ate. He stood by them under the tree as they did eat, because he was the host, as we just read here. I wasn't gonna read the whole thing in Genesis because I want this last part to be short. It says the host is expected to be the first to rise up from the dinner table, but he will only do it after the people have finished their meals. So as they was eating, he stood under the tree. Okay, he rose up. Do not eat from hand to mouth. If it's a snack, hold it with a paper towel. We read that before. How you eat certain food with your wrap it up in a napkin. I'm not gonna read too much there. I'm gonna end it right here on this one. Bolivian customs. It says I'm gonna jump right down. Social customs in Bolivian culture. Bolivians don't have the same concept of personal space as other countries. Typically, people will stand very close to you, and if you back away, will think you are being rude or that you've been offended by something they've said. They never read the same thing in Brazil. I believe you also read the same thing with Colombia. Bolivians also touch and gesture much more than in other countries. While they're talking to you, they may pat you on the back, touch your arm, or lean towards you. Bolivians typically speak softly and are bothered when a uniform degree of sound is not maintained. So they're bothered when a uniform degree of sound is not maintained, meaning uniform means one form. So like, for example, you're in public and a person does not maintain a uniform sound. In other words, for example, when in public, on a bus or in a restaurant, etc., you should take your cue from those around you in terms of how loudly you can speak or laugh. In general, we try not to stand out above the rest in volume or when you laugh or gesture. You're in America, man, you're on a bus or a train, restaurant, whatever, you got somebody, mainly a woman, that's loud as hell, talking loud as hell, laughing loud as hell, because they ain't got no goddamn manners in this society. Alright? On the other hand, in some situations such as bars or discotheques, Bolivians, discotheques, Bolivians can be very loud and raucous. In Eastern Bolivia, such as Santa Cruz, people tend to be much more relaxed and informal socially than in the Andean region. Okay, jump down. When greeting, it is customary to shake hands with your right hand. In social situations, not so much with business introductions. When you are introduced to someone or are greeting someone, you are also expected to lean to your left as you clasp their hand and kiss them on the cheek. Women kiss women and men kiss women, but men don't kiss men. Men do not kiss men. So, let's see. If a woman enters the room, stand up and don't sit down again until she does. It is customary for men to offer their seats to women and the elderly, but not to children. Children are expected to sit on their parents' laps or on the floor next to them if they are not empty seats for them. Never sit on the arm of a chair. Never put your feet up on anyone's furniture. See, never take your shoes off at anyone's home unless they invite you to do so, or unless you plan to swim in their pool. When someone enters your house, you should immediately offer to take their coat. These are different types of etiquette, you know. The scripture, um, it's in my mind. It says, 1 Peter 4:9. It says, use hospitality one to another without grudging. See that? Draping your coat over someone's furniture is not good social etiquette. It's not good social etiquette. Preferably, if they don't offer to take your coat, keep it on your lap or hold it until they realize you've forgotten to take your coat. They've forgotten to take your coat. Um, it's a lot more here I can give. You know, like I said, I don't want to read the whole thing. I'll be here for a long time. It says, it is rude to stare and even more rude to point. When you want to point out someone or direction, typically you nod your head in their or its direction. See, so you don't point out there. Women are considered subordinate to men in many places of Bolivia, more so in the Indian areas and less so in Santa Cruz, where women are demanding of respect. If a man verbally or physically mistreats his wife or companion in your presence, it is considered rude to interfere or stand up for her. In other words, mind your damn business. Okay? That's what it's saying. Um, People don't get involved in other domestic disputes. If you stand up for her, she may get angry with you and tell you to buzz off. So even she may get pissed the hell off. You know? If you give a gift, the recipient will not open it in front of you. Neither should you open the gift given you right away. It is customary to wait until the giver has left to do so. The exception will be when the gift is a beverage or type of food, cigars, music, etc. To share the gift with the giver, etc. To share the gift with the giver if the event you're at is appropriate. Refusing the gift is bad social etiquette. Accept it and be gracious about it. If you are sitting between or beside people, never turn your back on someone in order to pay attention to what another is saying. It is considered very bad social etiquette, even a snub, if you will, if you will to dar la espalda, turn your back on someone. It is absolutely absolutely necessary for some reason. Before you turn your back on someone, you should say, disculpe si le doy la espalda un momento. Forgive me for turning my back on you for a moment. This will let them know you are aware of them, are not snubbing them, and have no intention of being rude. Um, be aware that smoking indoors is not against the law. In Bolivia, and people in Bolivia, and people quite often smoke in restaurants, bars, discos, etc. Asking them not to smoke is considered rude and imposing. If you are a smoker, do not smoke unless your host smokes too. And if you smoke, always offer cigarettes to all the people around you. It is rude to smoke without offering to share with everyone else. There's other stuff here that's pretty good. Beware of your posture. Sitting in a slump position is considered rude. Likewise, if you're a woman, sitting with your legs open is considered slutty. Check that out. And I'll read this last one. If you visit someone's house, it is not good social etiquette to enter their bedroom. If they give you a tour of the house, only enter the bedrooms if invited to do so. Otherwise, just peek in the room from the doorway. I got a scripture that came in my mind. I think it's Proverbs 25 or something like that. And I'm going to end it here. Okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to read something else. I see something else that came in my mind. Uh, scripture where it says, withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house. This is Proverbs 20, I think it's 25. Yeah, 25, Proverbs 25:17. Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he beware of thee and so hate thee. So you don't want to go over a person's house all the time. You don't want to be like, because they're gonna feel like you intruding their personal space. So it's best that you withdraw your foot from your neighbor's house and say hate thee. You don't want to always go over the particular individual's house all the time. So you withdraw your foot. You hold back from going because they're gonna feel like you're avoiding you're intruding on their personal space. Remember what we read here, where it said um it's not good social etiquette to enter their bedroom. See, peek in through the door, but even in scripture in the apocrypha, you don't want to be not want to peek from the door. And I'll get this last one. It says, if you are seated with when someone comes over to greet you, stand up for the greeting. Do not make people lean towards you. Remember the scripture tells you, thou shalt rise up at the hoary head. The hoary head is the ancient, the gray head, the elders, supposed to rise up when they come when you greet them. Okay, and I'll read this last one. But let me get that scripture. Honor the hoary head. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 32. Thou shalt rise up before the hoary head, and honor the face of the old man, and fear thy power. I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. See that? And I'm reading this last one. I'm going to close on that. And I hope you will learn something from this series. Another way of being able to break it down. Because you got to know why they call happy. You can't just say, oh, Asher comes from Hebrew, the Shah means happy. All right, why are they call happy? What are the customs? What's the etiquette? What's the manners done that make them people happy? What is it about those customs that's kept that maintains happiness there? I'll read the last part. Maintain eye contact at all times. Looking away all around while you talk to someone or while they talk to you is considered rude and gives the other person the impression that what they are saying is not important to you. So with that, I'm going to close. I was going to learn something from this series. I'm going to say Shalom.